is that they don't have a pivot for their hand. They don't have a good spot where they can plant it and do a lot of movement. So imagine, in general, I prefer to have this bone right here. This is the money bone right here. This one that's on the outside of the wrist. That is where I have my pivot. So for me, the edge of the table runs right along here, right? So my mouse hand can move very easily. You'll even notice, you see how there's a little bit of redness there? I was actually playing some StarCraft before I ended up coming here. That's because, again, I kind of have that as my pivot resting on the table. Now, it's very easy for me to stop. So notice when I make this box, I tend to stop right in this region because visually I can see it. If you swing up, your tendency is to not be able to control where your mouse hand stops. Nice little boxes. Now notice I'm going to go top, left, right? Top, down for both of them. I'm going to do both of these. So I'm going to grab them really, really fast. And you'll see someone really, really good do something like box up, box down, like that. So my box goes about that big, right? A lot of people at the start will do this sort of thing. This sort of giant boxing, but you want to be doing smaller boxing, right? They'll want this roach, so they'll do that. Excuse me, they'll want this drone. Oh, and now I want this drone. And that, let's get the bottom one again. Alright, let's get the top one. Alright, let's get the bottom one. Are you seeing the issue? I'm making a huge ass box. I'm basically spamming. Honestly, something like the motion I just did, multiple selects in a small space, is truly better than big arbitrary boxing. That as much as possible. Click on things. And this will make StarCraft feel so much more fun. Let me... With my mouse, this general region. Click on things. Click on things. When you want these drones, I actually think that it is a big mistake to just like, alright, cool, grabbing them. Try to just click on the drones, Lord, and just, okay, grab him, like that. I don't want to do that. I want to click on him and click where I want to be. Delude themselves into thinking they have good mouse accuracy because they'll say to themselves, I want to go here, and then they'll... That's really bad, because... But what you want is to be able to select, click once, boom. You want to be able to go here, select a roach you want, and oh, I want it to go to this mineral patch. You want to be able to select a roach and then click. You want to have that degree of accuracy. You don't want to do that sort of thing. A few guys come in, but you can just click on 3 individually very quickly. For the most part, if you want this guy in here, click on the damn unit to add him. Do not make a bunch of huge boxes. Click, click on him, click on him, click on him. Let's go to screen positioning. Ooh, what the hell does Day9 mean by that? That's right, screen scrolling is the worst thing in the universe. Well, how the hell do I move around the screen? You move around the screen with hotkeys. So here's my hotkey. I'm going to have this hatch as 5. This I'm going to have as 6. I'm going to have my guys to the left as 1. My guys to the right as 2. Alright, cool. So if I want to move around, I just move like this. So you'll see, okay, now all I'm doing is hitting 1, 2, 5, and 6. If you want to go to a place on the map, do not scroll there. Click there on the mini-map. Let's say I want this overlord to head down to this region of the map. Always do it like that. Always pick the thing, click where you want it to go, and then click on the screen. You see this overlord a little bit to the left? Click on it. Click on it on the mini-map. Don't scroll move over. Now, I really, really want you to use these screen hotkeys. So I'm going to go to my hotkeys. I'm going to go to global. I'm going to go to camera. And it's these, no, sorry. It's these ones. Create location 1 to 4. Here is my hatchery. I'm going to go Shift, F2. And then when I am all the way down here, when I press F2 one time, it comes back to this look. Build structure, F2, Shift, return home. And we can even see this waypoint is created. Favorite things in the universe. The minimap, watching your minimap. That is the most important part of the screen. So for the most part, I'm essentially always looking at the minimap. I'm pretty much always looking at the minimap. But you want to get in the habit of just looking there all the time. All the time you want to look at there, right? Always want to be looking at there. Anytime I'm sending units somewhere, I begin to look at the minimap. Easiest thing in the world, whenever you macro, look at the minimap. Easy, 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 easy. Your hand's doing this. You can't be doing anything else with the mouse or you'll interrupt your macro, so your eyes just sort of look at the minimap. That's easy. That's obvious, right? Very, very clear thing to do. There's micro going on. There's micro going on. But I'm making myself glance periodically at the minimap. So attack, attack, glance. Attack, attack, glance. Again, the two most important times to look at the minimap are when you're macroing and right as you are about to engage the enemy in a big attack and throughout that big attack. And you see, oh, okay, he's sending Zerglings to me, then you don't make the mistake of making more drones or teching or, you know, forgetting to build defense. You are looking at the minimap. A lot of problems get solved with the minimap. What you don't want to do is to play fast just for the sake of having a high APM. StarCraft is not about clicking furiously, it's about clicking things at exact times. The timing of your clicks is important. And not doing that many motions. If you watch really, really tip-top players play, when they see this probe, they're going to box once and click attack and then go back and do something else. What they're not going to do is any of that shit, right? Absolutely none of that. And in fact, what really causes hand speed most is looking at the damn minimap and then looking up here at your minerals, looking up there at the minerals. That is what causes the biggest upswing in hand speed. Perceptions of speed. Oh yes, my favorite topping in the world, tapping. Tapping. Build some things. Let's talk about where my eyes are. My eyes are here, and then I'm going to do the tap. I'm going to do the tap. 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Looking here, looking here. Looking at the main screen now. Looking up here. Going to click them up here. Looking back down here. 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Looking up at my money. Generally, every time I want to build something, every time I go 5S, I also glance up here. Fantastic. Very, very, very good. Good macro is not in your hands. It is in the eyes. Where you're looking is what makes you a good macroer. What if you have a real problem finding out when stim is done? Hotkey that tech lab is 0. There's another element we talked about. I can just do 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0. It is the idea of microing, right? Hitting one, the whole control group, and then moving them around. That is the only thing people will ever do. You need to have the mindset that this is a breakable group. That you can do something like this, where you can pull back and then select this one and move it over. And then as I rearrange, there's a very important technique called slicing that I want you to do a lot. Slice that front off. And now, if I continue to slice back and just sort of peel the front layer to the sides, again, that's the real motion, is peeling the front layer to the sides. I can get better spreads, I can deal with banelings a little more, I can operate a little better against melee units. And it's not just me grabbing a clump and pulling it back. Or even if I want to do the example with Marines. I can totally be moving around as much as I want. And oh, banelings. And again, notice I instinctively send 1 to the left, 2 to the top, and 3 to the right, because that is the mental model I have. So I hope this was a useful daily for you to see a lot of the things that people don't talk about. Screen positioning and tapping, I think, are my 2 favorite ones to note. But also just a little bit of the fundamentals of micro, where you look at on the mini-map, and all that sort of... Ladies and gentlemen, peace out. You all look very pretty today, and I'd like to give a huge shout out to you fancy fine folks for being so nice and lovely.